Hello, unlimited friends. It's Zara back again with Q&A about law of attraction and its practical application to our lives. The question has to do with cancer and recovery from cancer. This question was submitted by someone in my Facebook community, and I'm just going to play the audio of the question for you. So here we go.
My question is, why did I choose cancer? And what is the reason for this? And how do I stop the cancer from spreading? How do I go back to a normal life? And how do I get my energy aligned with source?
So, as you can see, this is something that affects a lot of people. And my request from you is listen to the answer, because it is not just about cancer. Law of attraction, the rules, the laws, the principles apply the same way to any situation. So listening to the response, especially coupled with the drawings, is going to help you to understand why things happen the way they do. Secondly, I would really appreciate it if you share this information with someone that you care about who might be in a situation where this response is going to assist them. All right, so let's get started. One of the things that I would like to recommend to you is to download this book, Why Me? Why Do Bad Things Happen to Good People? Because in this book, I talk about cancer and why it happens and what to do about it. So that's the written part, and I'm going to show you the diagrammatic representation of why things happen and why cancer happens, what to do about it. Let's go to my drawing. Okay, so I've just written out the question from Pat over here. And what I want you to know is that law of attraction will give you the equivalent of your vibration. So if you have been spending a lot of time on a low vibration, then you will attract something, a manifestation that represents the vibration that you have spent a lot of time on. So think about it this way. Here is the emotional scale. And the vibration that is the equivalent of cancer is the vibration of fear. And if you have been watching any of my videos, then you know that down here, this is depression, this is worry, and this up top here is a place of love. Those people who attract cancer or any other critical illness, they are people who have spent a lot of time on the vibration of fear. And what is the kind of thinking that causes a vibration of fear? The kind of thinking that causes a vibration of fear is thinking, oh my God, what if something goes wrong? And it doesn't have to be big things. It can be as simple as leaving the house in the morning and wondering if you're going to be in an accident, thinking, do I have enough money for today? Just simple little things that have to do with life. The point is, you're spending most of your waking conscious time on a vibration of fear that something is going to go wrong and that you don't have the capacity to handle it if something goes wrong. So spending most of your time in fear, wondering what people will say, how you will handle situations, is one of the things that contributes towards staying on a vibration of fear. In Patricia's case, you have to understand, not just in Patricia's case, but in any kind of illness or any kind of post-manifestational situation, you've got to understand that everything is connected, and worry about life in general and specific things keeps you at a low vibration, which causes a negative manifestation. For example, worrying about your son, and now I'm speaking directly to Patricia, worrying about your son and his future, worrying about your relationship with your spouse and your inability to support yourself financially should you make the decision to leave him, worry about not having enough money. All these worries put you in a cage from which you don't think you can escape. But you can, because law of attraction says everything is possible. So when you worry about your son, law of attraction says there's nothing to worry about. When you worry about your son's future, law of attraction says you don't have to worry about your son's future. When you worry about your relationship with your spouse, law of attraction says, sweetheart, you can fix that. When you worry about the inability to support yourself financially, law of attraction says, don't worry. If you leave, you will be supported, right? And worry about not having enough money coming from a place of lack. Law of attraction says there is no lack. You're the one who is preventing money from coming in. Otherwise, money would flow in. So all of these worries put you in a cage from which you don't think you can escape because you don't see yourself being able to control any of these situations, but you do. Your vibration controls these things. So what happens is before something like cancer happens, law of attraction, the universe is sending you tiny little reminders that you are not thinking your thoughts the way you should be thinking them. And what I mean by that is little manifestations will happen. Your son will make a mistake of some sort, and this will worry you. Your spouse will continue to become more and more distant, and you'll notice his behavior, which will then repeat itself. So, you see, these things, when you think about them, what you don't know, or maybe you know, but you're not connecting the dots, is that when you worry about the behavior of your son, you are sending out this vibration of fear. This is a vibration of fear. And when you send out this vibration, it brings you more of this behavior. So you get more to be afraid about because you see more evidence of his behavior which you're not comfortable with. Then your spouse continues to become more and more distant, and this leads you to fear as well. Oh my God, my marriage is not going the way I want it to. So this again is a negative vibration, puts you in a place of fear, and because it puts you in a fear, it brings you more negative manifestations, more things to be afraid about. Then money problems become worse, right? And again, when money problems are there, you're sending out a vibration of fear. Oh my God, how will I keep all my financial commitments? How will I pay all my bills? What will I do? Then what happens is this kind of thinking, emotionally, it drains you of your energy. And so what happens is you start feeling tired all the time and you don't have energy. And this in itself is an indication that you are again in a low vibration and a vibration of fear, lethargy, depression, right? And then what happens is, as a result of this, all of this, people, family, friends, even strangers say things that hurt you. You don't get the treatment that you think you deserve. And all of this together puts you at a very low place on the emotional scale. And this is the thing. This is why I say bad things happen to good people, because good people don't understand that what they are doing is going to bring them negative results. So if I draw the emotional scale here again, and if you are spending predominantly a lot of time on this vibration of fear and worry, so you're spending most of your day in this region of worry and fear, between here, going up and down between these things, then your vibrations that are going out into the universe are attracting. And what are they attracting to you? They are attracting all sorts of negative experiences. And the reason that happens is because the universe is trying to catch your attention, and the universe is trying to tell you that you need to stop and shift from these vibrations and go up the emotional scale. You attract negative things so that the universe can say, come on, wake up. These negative things are happening because you're not paying attention. So the universe wants you to pay attention to the fact that you're spending your time over here. And the simple thing that you can do if you are in this area of the emotional scale, these set points, then all you have to do is to use two tools. In law of attraction, I always say that there are only two tools. One is appreciation, and the other one is meditation. Appreciation plus meditation will take you high on the emotional scale, above the worry line. And that's exactly what you want. The more you appreciate, the more you meditate, you feel better. When you feel better, you go high on the emotional scale, and now your manifestations change. The thing to understand about appreciation and meditation is that meditation is about no thought, going up the emotional scale without thinking, and appreciation is about going up the emotional scale using thought. So that's the difference between these two. Okay? And we only can spend maybe half an hour in meditation on a daily basis, maybe an hour. But for the most of the day, we are not spending our time in meditation. And so what we must do is to spend our time in appreciation. Appreciation, appreciation, appreciation. Appreciate nature. Appreciate everything that you can possibly find a reason to appreciate, and that will take you high on the emotional scale. Now, you have to spend most of your time here and forget about these thoughts completely. Stop going there. If your mind goes there, you've got to tell yourself, I don't have to think about it. The universe will look after that for me. And if you do that, the reason you're doing that is because what you want to create is a momentum, a positive momentum. When you create positive momentum, that is when good things start happening. If there is no momentum, nothing can happen. Abraham gives us this analogy about a car. If a car is going at 5 miles an hour and it hits a tree, nothing happens. The car doesn't get very damaged, the tree doesn't get very damaged. But if that same car is going at 100 miles an hour and it hits a tree, the car is destroyed and the tree is also damaged. So that's what is momentum, speed, the speed of the energy that you're generating. Bad things and good things happen the same way. When you have a lot of negative momentum, then negative momentum brings you negative manifestations, and positive momentum brings you positive manifestations. Momentum is a very important concept to understand. So when people start working on law of attraction and they say, oh yes, I must appreciate, they spend 5 minutes of their day, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes in appreciation. The rest of the day, they are thinking their thoughts the same way they did before, and then nothing changes. And they look at their lives and they say, well, nothing is changing. My health isn't changing. You asked in your question, Patricia, you asked me, how do I change this? You said, how can I stop this cancer for spreading and from spreading? And how do I get back to a normal life? Well, sweetheart, there are only two tools as far as law of attraction is concerned. One is appreciation, the other one is meditation. So why did sickness happen? It happened because you spent too much time in a negative place on the emotional scale. Change that and create positive momentum, and then there is nothing that you cannot change. It's positive momentum that changes things, which means for the most of your day, 80-90% of your day, you've got to stay away from negative thought. You can stay in neutral thought or you can stay in positive thought. Just don't go negative. And then by not going negative, you will have created an opportunity for the universe to help you. So now, why does cancer happen? It happens because your body is storing negative energy every single time you think a negative thought. So, Patricia, if this was you, and every time you think a negative thought, it generates negative energy, and this negative energy, it gets stored somewhere in your body. And if you're not doing anything to look after your physical body, then that negative energy gets stored, becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and it results in a manifestation. People who have healthy lifestyles, meaning they are physically active, they are looking after their bodies with food, with exercise, they tend to let go that negative energy on a daily basis. So it takes longer for negative momentum to build, but they are also building negative momentum. It's just that it's going to take longer to build because they're also eliminating some of it on a daily basis. The next thing I want to talk to you about is why cancer. So illness happens, any kind of illness happens when you are storing negative energy inside your body. If you keep storing it and you keep storing it, in the book, Why Me? Why Do Bad Things Happen to Good People, I explain that we all have this kind of aura that surrounds us. But there are chinks in this aura. These chinks are created by negative beliefs. And what happens is, if you were to store a lot of negative energy in your body, this, in the end, it's creating pressure like a pipe. If there's water running through a pipe and you twist the pipe is going to burst because the water needs to go somewhere. And in the same way, when you keep storing negative emotions, stress, and worry in your body, it will, in the end, it needs to come out. So it will find one of these holes in your aura and it will come out from there. How are these holes created? So the holes, the chinks in your vibrational aura are created when you have negative thoughts about a specific illness. Why did you attract cancer? You attracted cancer rather than any other disease because it became a weak spot in your aura, in the sense that you have focused on it or spent time thinking about it. And that's why you opened the door for that sickness. How does that happen? Well, it happens if you think it runs in the family. Oh, my mother had it, right? What are the chances that I will have it? Well, my chances of getting it are higher than other people because it runs in my family. Or if a friend of yours had it and now you are thinking about your friend and you've got this soft heart and you feel for your friend, you want to help your friend, you're praying for this friend, then that means you're focusing on it. So if a friend has cancer and you focus on it, then you are activating cancer in your own life. If you are listening to people saying, oh, and you start thinking, oh my God, there's so much disease out there. What if I get something? Again, you're opening that door. And the funny thing is this one. This one applies. I've seen this in my life. I've seen this apply so much to people who are in the health industry, health professionals. It applies to them because they see sick people and they say to themselves, oh my God, I hope I don't get this. And when they say, I hope I don't get this, that is a negative thought. And you might have thought that way, Patricia. You might have seen a friend or even a fictitious character, like watching programming where somebody is sick with cancer and your heart bleeds for this person. You are activating cancer in your life by spending time thinking about it. If you think that it's a dangerous illness and you spend a lot of time thinking about it being dangerous, then again, you're attracting it. Reading about it or listening to the news about statistics or research, that's also activating it in your life. Feeling bad, and this is the biggest one, feeling bad for people who have cancer is activating cancer in your life. And so all of this activation is what results in these weak spots in your vibrational aura or your vibrational makeup that allow that sickness to come in. So how do we deal with it? Like I said, the way to deal with it is simply to create momentum based on appreciation and meditation. These are the two things. The more you do them, the more time you spend high in this area of the emotional scale, high on the emotional scale in a place of hope. So I've heard Abraham say this, Patricia. I've heard Abraham say that the difference between recovery and not is hope. People who recover from cancer are people who start spending time high on the emotional scale. They stop worrying and they approach their situation, their health situation. And you can substitute health with anything, any other subject. They are coming to a place of hope. And hope is a very high emotion. On the emotional scale, hope is higher than a place of satisfaction. So if you can come to a place of hope and think that things are going to get better for you while you spend your entire day in appreciation and meditation, or watching something funny, comedy, or just being in love, having loving thoughts about your son, about your husband, about other people that you know, the staff in the hospital, when you come to everything with a place of gratitude and appreciation, then you're spending time in the higher part of the emotional scale. And when you do that, there is nothing you cannot change. And you do not need to think about cancer or recovery from cancer, because the universe already knows what you want and can give you what you want. You don't have to specifically ask the universe to help you recover from cancer, because the universe already knows what you want. One of the mistakes that people make is that they think that they have to keep asking or praying for the thing that they want to get. But praying for the thing that you want to get keeps you in a place of asking, asking. And asking is not the same as allowing. When you keep asking, you are low on the emotional scale. So you have to stop asking for it, for the recovery. You have to start believing that it will happen. That is trust. And you've got to keep yourself in a place of allowing. And a place of allowing is a place of appreciation and meditation. So, Patricia, I hope that this response really, truly helps you to understand why this happened to you, to let go those things that worry you and get you all caught up. Release all your worry. Practice appreciation and meditation. Allow yourself to come up high on the emotional scale, and you've got to spend more time there, because just doing it for 5 or 10 minutes is not going to make any difference, because 5 or 10 minutes is not going to generate enough momentum. Remember that your thoughts in the past created this reality that you're living just now. And in order for you to create a different future, you've got to stop thinking the way you used to think in the past. When you change the way you think, everything in your life will change. I promise you, this is how law of attraction works. All right, folks, that's all I have for you just now. I do have a couple of spots open for one-on-one private coaching as well as group coaching. So if you are interested in coaching with me, please send me a message through my website, zeemahoon.com. And if you're not quite there with coaching yet, you can explore my online courses, the Heart and Mind Alignment Method, and the 16 Fundamental Principles for Manifesting, which are both really good places for you to get started with deepening your understanding of how law of attraction works. In the end, I want to remind you to get this book. It is a free download on my website, zeemahoon.com. And if you like the diagrams that I use in explaining law of attraction, The book Thrive is based on such diagrams, and it explains all of law of attraction using diagrams. There are 42 diagrams in that book that explain law of attraction. And so I would really, really recommend getting the book Thrive and accompanying that book with the book Manifesting Mistakes, because I know that for those people who intellectually understand law of attraction, I know that they're making one of the 15 manifesting mistakes that I talk about in that book. Because of those mistakes, they are stuck where they are and not able to move forward and manifest the things that they want. So, guys, there are tons of resources available to you. I teach online programs every single day and answer questions online every single day in my Facebook communities. And so make a commitment to improve your life and grab something, a course or a book or a coaching session that might help you on your journey. All right, guys, take care. That's it for now.